You mentioned that your grandfather had a jazz club in a cave in Jamaica, but your mother is the reason you play so exquisitely, right? Because she was a
I don't know
jazz...
about exquisite. I don't know about exquisite.
Yeah, come on. I'm saying it. And so, so you used to listen to her, hear her teach other kids how to play before you were learning yourself, right?
That's right, yeah. So she did try to teach me when I was about 5, and I just wasn't having any of it. Like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. And I was 5 and she was in her 30s. And I was like, you've been doing this since you was a kid, but actually, no, mum, okay? I think most of you can probably relate to that, no? If your parents tell you something, you're like, no. Even though you know that they might be right, and low-key down the road, you find out they were right. But,
I love how you learned to play drums as well. Was it sort of a barter and exchange thing?
That's exactly it, yeah. So I ended up picking up piano mostly by ear because they were... she was teaching people in the house, and that was how my mum was earning money. And I was just hearing everyone's like, jazz grade T, jazz grade V. So I know them pieces. I could probably recall them. I don't know if it's still on it's the current pieces that are in the book now, but from the 90s and the 2000s, they're in, trust me, they're in. But the drums, my mum was teaching somebody in like Brockley, Tyneham, around that kind of way. And I used to go with her on a Saturday because there's no childcare like for me. So I would just go and travel with her as she was teaching people and get to know people's siblings and stuff and play computer games. And this guy my mum was teaching his daughter piano. He was like, yo, times are hard. I'm struggling a bit. I'm struggling to make ends meet, but I would love to do a little switchery. We'll do a quid pro quo. How about I teach your son drums because he's shown some interest in what I've got in the house, and then you teach my daughter piano. And we had that arrangement going on for a few years.
Wicked.
And I learned some stuff. I thought I was going to be a session drummer when I was a teenager. I actually did that for a while, yeah. But now, don't ask me to play because... I don't know, it's been about 10 years, you know.
I love that story because it's something very primal and old school bartering system, you know, and especially when it comes to the kids.
It's quite wholesome and community kind of feeling. Yeah, I like that too.
You didn't become a session drummer, you became a firefighter.
I did, yeah.
At 16?
No. But I started looking into
scratch that bit of research. Okay, yeah, you started looking into it.
I started looking into it when I was 16.
Why firefighting?
Basically, because I could see from everybody that I knew, like all of my family members were like struggling.
Yeah.
I was like that kid that had shoes from Shoe Zone, man. Like, I went back. Do you know about Shoe Zone? Anybody know about Shoe Zone? That was the struggle life, man. Yeah. I was on the struggle life when I was a kid.
And Shoe Zone was glam in Bradford.
Nah, man. No. Shoe Zone was glam nowhere. No. But no, I was like, I need to get a proper job, you know. And it just so happened that my girlfriend at the time fell pregnant pretty much at the same time that I was in the brigade. And then we got married and then we had more children.
You were 20 when you had your first?
I was 20 when I had my first kid, yeah. So I got married, had a baby and moved out from my mum's place all in the space of about a year and a half. So
what about the music? Yeah, you grew up very quickly.
Yeah, I just did adult stuff young. I knew that I wanted to have kids young anyway, so it did add up and make sense in terms of the trajectory. But
well, I just spent half a day with my dad, who also had me at 20. So by the time your eldest is 46, you won't even be 70 yet. So I
kind of like that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you're a young dad.
I'm into that. Maybe in a few years' time, he's 12 now, my oldest. So 6 years, maybe we can go have a pint.
You will, yeah, cool. For sure.
6 years.
My dad only buys me half a pint though. He's from Yorkshire. So what happened? So when you had a kid, you became a firefighter, you grew up very quickly, you got married. Yeah. Francesca, your wife, she directed your video as well.
She's very talented as well.
Of course.
She's a very, very talented individual.
So what happened to the music? Did you decide to put it on hold?
I was always tinkering around with something because I couldn't not, but I had to be good at the things I was doing and I had a limited amount of bandwidth. I think that's kind of the best way to describe it. I was like, well, I didn't have my dad in my life, so I'm going to take that quite serious. And I'm a husband and I'm a firefighter, and that's not a small job. That's kind of a big deal, and I need to be good at that. But within like a couple of years of that, I was like, yo, I need to have an outlet. I'm getting mad. This is crazy. So my friend, who I was still in contact with from when I was doing music, set up a function project. He was in like function band stuff. And he brought me in. So I was basically a wedding singer for a little while. I did that for a bit. So I was singing Marvin Gaye tunes and like Forget-Me-Nots and tunes like that at weddings. And I did that for a little while. I did like, I don't know,
Wonderful.
3 or 4 weddings.
How much respect do we have for this man right now? I mean, not just the music, like just you.